Yo, we live. You're now listening to Volume 160?
Yep.
Of the Bucket Up Podcast. Here with your boy Ty Doyle, a.k.a. DJ Buttersauce, a.k.a. Ty Lante, a.k.a. your mom shoots me texts when she's getting lonely. And I'm here as always with the homie, the kid JB. Was good.
Yes. I'll take extra cheese. Thank you. It's me, the kid JB. Could have been right last week, a.k.a. must have told you so, not because I'm always right, but when I'm right, I have to tell you so. Could have been right last week. Mr. Puff Armstrong. Young fanny pack. Convenient with it. If you need it, I got it. But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Volume 160 of the Bucket Up Podcast. Every day I've been putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Monday through Friday, I grind. Saturdays, I hit the football field and I broadcast. And then this Sunday, I'm hitting the mic with my man and I'm podcasting. So no days off, as you'll see in these YouTube motivational speeches. And it's me, the kid JB. But most importantly, I'm happy to be alongside digitally to my guy, DJ Butter. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm just chilling. Another week of, you know what I mean, taking care of a baby. You know, Katie does most of the heavy lifting on that. You know, because she's got to feed her and shit. I can't breastfeed. We not rolling out the bottles yet. So
maybe in progressive years they'll figure out a way for men to get out that milk. You know what I'm saying? But for now,
maybe I don't know. I'd rather just like give her a bottle at some point. You
don't trust the science, bro?
The science that doesn't exist yet? No, I don't. I do not. But yeah, no. I've been chilling. I feel like I've been slacking on my, eating healthy shit. Been kind of rolling that back. I had Mexican this week. I got crumble cookie this week. They had some good shit though. They had like a key lime pie joint. They had a Snickers joint, and they had like that Lucky Charms one. They were all good.
You got that one?
I got the Snickers one. Katie got the Lucky Charms one, and then we got a key lime pie one to split. But then we both were like, we want to try the other person's cookie, so we just got like a little piece of the other joints. But yeah, they were all good, which is like usually. But I'm like, I hate this because I'm like, next week if they got something good again, I'll be like, fuck, now I want that one. So hopefully next week the cookies are trash, and then I can get back to eating healthy. I had freaking Mexican and Chinese this week, so I need to get back on my grind and shit.
I'm glad you had your Snickers, bro. You didn't do racism, because if you take it to last week, we learned that racism is a side effect of low blood sugar. Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool, man. We slip, but players fuck up, as they say, and it's not how you fall down; it's how you get back up. And I'm with you, brother, because I slipped up and I downloaded Doordash and Postmates again.
Oh man!
And I got
what was it? 2 weeks?
I could have been less. And okay, but hear me out, bro. It was like this weird domino effect because it was like, it was like, how they say in Big Pharma, like there's no cure in there's no money in the cure, there's money in the treatment, right? You gotta keep coming get them come back, right? So. They were like, they sent me an email and they're like, hey, it's been a while. Like, here's a $5 credit for this place that already has a discount. So, like, your thing would have been like $8 or whatever. So I was like, all right, they got me. So I'm ordering this spot and I'm like, all right, I'm off work or after work. I'm going to order it. I'm going to, blaze up on that legal and just kick it. But then what happens, Ty? Like, I don't learn my lesson, and the same bloopers exist. So I order the food. I'm hyped because the discount is low. I'm thinking the food's reasonably priced now. I'm like, all right, cool. This is like, when you have beef with somebody and then they come through with some food or like they're like nice with it, and you're just like, all right, man, what are you talking about now? Like maybe I'm a little, I'm willing to hear you, right? So
right.
Nah, they hit me with the same stuff. Like, oh, sorry, we had to cancel. Because, the DoorDasher there's not many in your area and the restaurant was too busy, blah, blah, blah. But, we've reversed the charge and we give you a credit. So what does that mean? You have to order again, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, nah, bro, put the shit back on my card. No credit.
Nah. So they weren't down for the negotiations. So they gave me the credit. So then this is Friday night, man. and I order, mind you, nothing's open. This is late. I'm talking 1 a.m. Nothing's open.
Oh, that's why.
No.
That's why. Hey, I know you're not trying to drive nowhere, but it's like you just got to hit up a Taco Bell in the drive-through, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, my car has been rented out frequently, so I don't have my car, and I'm not not bigging up my chest to ask my girl like, yo, I gotta go get that new chalupa.
Yeah, what does it matter? I feel like she'd be alright, man. She'd be like, okay, like give me something.
Nah, she said it's fine, but now I think it's funny we could just keep adding like wild reasons for me to borrow her car. And I'm like, yo, I need crazy glue. She's like, for what? I'm like, I just gotta go get some, yo. Like,
it's 2 a.m, bro.
I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, but I need the glue. So there's the one spot open, Jack in the Box, and I was like, I'm on some degenerate shit. Because for those that don't know, for our East Coast, buckets, Jack in the Box is trash. It's the bottom tier of, fast food. It's late. It's 24 hours. It's nasty. It's got too many items. It's got egg rolls all the way to
they do everything,
bowls
bro,
of cereal.
Anything well. It's weird. It's they do so many things, and I think they're just they're in the marketing meeting yo, what should we market as our signature? Burger King got the Whopper, and McDonald's got the Big Mac, and Jack in the Box is just we'll just do all of it.
We'll call it the Jumbo
we'll
Jack.
Serve tacos. Yeah, we'll serve tacos.
We're like, which one's the Jumbo Jack? They're like, you tell us.
Yeah, bro.
Anything you want.
Munchie Meal. We're going to straight up just market the people high as shit because we're the only thing open at the time.
Right, which is fair.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
So.
There's so many of them. It must be working somewhat.
So many boxes and jacks, right? So, he was talking about this new burger. It was the triple jack, right? And I was like, all right, it doesn't look too bad. Kind of looks like it has Kel's secret sauce from Good Burger. I was like, all right, I could get that. So I ordered that. And then, dude, I'm dozing off, and I'm kind of I don't think I'm going to stay awake for this DoorDash person. So luckily in the notes, I tell him yo, leave it by the door. It's good. Just, thanks.
You just fell asleep and just eat it overnight.
Yes, I fell asleep, and I was like, fuck. But I woke up on the couch. I was like, by the time I wake up, the food should be out there. So I wake up, man, in a daze, and I'm like, oh, shit. And I look, it's 2:30. I'm like, bet. All right, the food's probably got to be out there, whatever. Food's not out there. I check my phone, and it's still so-and-so's running late. I'm like, fam, it's been 2 hours. What the fuck?
Jesus, how?
It's been an hour and a half. I was like, what? And I'm now loopy as can be because I'm half asleep. I'm about to make that transition from, the couch to the bed. And I was just texting, drunk at this point, just half asleep. And I was like, where are you? Mad typos, why are you late? Bro, I was like, forget it. I was like, just leave it at the door if you come. I don't even know. So then, meanwhile, Joelle already went to bed hours ago. She gave up on the shit. And I come to bed, and she's like, did the food ever come? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. And I just... and I'm trying to sleep, bro, and it's 10 minutes or 2 seconds later, you just hear a knock at the door. I was like, are you fuck?
Of course.
So I told Joelle, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Just let him stay there. So then Joelle was like, I'll get the food for you. I was like, all right, cool. So she gets up, and then I was like, nah, I waited too long. Let me just get up and get this food. So I get up too, and Joelle's still hiding by the door, and she's like, and she gets a little anxious if the person's just waiting there. She wants them to just leave the food, which I get because you don't want to just interact with some stranger. And
yeah,
I was like, I don't know. So I go outside. There's no food there. So I was like, I text the person. I was like, did you take the food? You knocked on the door and dipped, and they're like, well, yeah, nobody answered. So I didn't know if I was
what? Hold on. What? That's not. Do y'all not have the little checkbox of leave it at the door? Because that's what I got. I knew sometimes people would chill, and I'm like, yo, just leave it there, it'll be alright. You know what I mean? But what? Man, this was I'm not gonna. Now I get it. Maybe he's I got the wrong door. Because you get the spectrum. You got the people who leave it at the wrong spot and they just drop it off, and then you get a text 10 minutes later being like, oh yeah, your food's there, and it's that's not my house.
Or my food, yeah.
You just dropped it off somewhere and was like, all right, I'm out. But then you get the ones who stay too long, and it's my man was just oh, they didn't answer, so I'm gonna just dip. What the hell you mean, bro?
So, so then I was like, bro, whatever. And I went to bed again. I was like, I'm really not going back out there. I don't care. And then they ended up dropping the food off. And then Joelle was like tired and she left it in the fridge. And then the next day I was like, I'm not eating reheated Jack in the Box. And I just...
It's all pointless,
So
man.
I threw it away and then I messaged them. I was like, yo, that was disgusting. You guys suck. Like, give me a refund. I don't even want a credit. Just refund my shit. I hate you guys. Like, I really hate you guys. Yeah. Like, I was just talking emotional. And then they refund me. And I was like, I don't even want a credit. Keep it. Like, I don't want one. And then, so then they reversed it on my card, right? And this is a little sub story. This is the happy ending. But, mind you, this is a two-parter because this leads into, like, what happened last night. But anyway.
Okay.
It's fine.
My man got a
Inception
J.R.R. Tolkien novel full of Doordash.
Nah,
stories,
so then last night I'm driving home. I'm going to tell the other story, but I'm driving home from my, second job, and I was like, all right, I'm craving Taco Bell. Then I found a Taco Bell on my way home, but then there was too many left turns, and, I got driving anxiety like that, so I just didn't want to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to DoorDash the food.
Oh, my God, dude. I can't, man. You the only person I know who do this stuff, bro.
So what's funny though is like I feel like the universe is like knew what I was going through, and I ordered the DoorDash, and mind you, it's taken longer than can be, right? But the guy messages me, and he's like, "Hey man, the Taco Bell is busy. Surprise, surprise, LOL." He's like, "But I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna get you your food, bro." And I was,
why the hell is he talking to you, dog?
Bro,
bored,
hey, I'm
bro.
I'm high as fuck for a long day after work, and I was just like, thanks, man. You should have seen what I went through the other day. And I'm having this full heart-to-heart with this DoorDash, and he's like, that's funny, bro. It's cool. I'm going to get you your food. I was like, cool, man. I appreciate you being in the trenches for me. And he's like, it's cool, man. And then time kept going by, and he was like, he was frustrated for me. He's like, I don't understand the holdup, man. The line's just at a dead stop. I was like, I don't know, man.
They got one dude in there at late night making tacos for everybody, and that is fun. I feel like they do shit backwards at Taco Bell. It's literally like one or two people at the time where they're actually probably the busiest because motherfuckers getting shit late night. There's one dude dealing with, you gotta do all the orders, and he's selling weed on the side. Like, cut that man some slack.
So he was like. He said, and then then the funniest shit was he texted me still like 20 minutes later. He's like, I don't know what the line held up was. So I knocked on the door, found out their systems were down. I was like, yo, my guy, you're really giving me this.
On the door, Jesus.
You really want me to get this chalupa. And
I don't like this dude's energy. I'm gonna be real. Like, he seemed like he's like going above and beyond for you. But like that's some serial killer energy to knock on the door of the drive-through fast food spot that's only open drive-through, man. Like, because if I'm an employee, I'm like, who the fuck is knocking on the door? Like, it's a drive-through only right now. I don't like that energy, bro.
I'm sorry. Well, he was on my side and I was with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm realizing more as I get older, Ty. Life's not about right versus wrong. It's about goals. And if his goal was to get me food, I'm with it.
There you go.
You know?
I feel like it still is about right versus wrong. It's just like, we don't care what is right or wrong as long as the outcome's good for us.
You know, and that's maybe your analogy on life. But for me, bro, it's about goals. So he got me the food. So, I tipped him or whatever. So it was a happy ending DoorDash with the credit, I guess, or not even with the credit, just with, a clean slate after some havoc I went through. And, man, so that was,
I don't even, this is crazy.
That was my happy ending for
Yo, I mean, it's like you get these bad fucking, like, experiences time after time, and you're just like, nah, I'm not gonna go get the food. You can save, like, time and money. It's like, yeah.
I was even driving home, and I still couldn't do it.
Yeah, you already in the damn car.
I told you that one time my boy said he ordered DoorDash while he wasn't home, and the DoorDasher beat him, and he was like, hey, man, why aren't you home? And he's like, yo, mind your business, yeah? Like...
Like, I just wanted the food. Why are you asking these fucking questions, bro? I ain't asked you. I ain't tell you to door. This isn't door ask.
Yeah, like, sorry, what? Like, we're not homies. So.
Exactly. I'm only door dashing if I'm like, it's a spot and I know I would have to like order and then go and then like wait and then pick up the order. You know what I mean? That's when I'm doing, and it just don't feel like dipping or going inside a place. But if it's drive through, I'm just gonna go to the drive through, man. I'm just gonna do it.
That's fair. Well, that's why you don't have driving anxiety and you're not in Smack City.
That's true. I can't. Yeah, you're right. I can't. I'm not trying to invalidate your experience at all, but it's just a clear avenue you could take to avoid.
And also, it's like
DoorDash heartbreak.
I'm a dangerman to society. If I'm taking.
Yeah, if you're smacked, yeah, I get it. You smacked.
Yeah. So anyway, with that was the week. You know, it was happily ever after.
You gotta at least do Grubhub or something.
Happily ever Dasher. I don't know. Yeah, Grubhub or Uber Eats. They email me. I don't even have that. Nah, you know, hey. Maybe I should cook. I think we've always ruled that out, right?
Yeah, probably do that first.
But nah, after the night I went through last night, I wasn't trying to cook. But I'll get to that. Actually, no, I'll get to that right now. Then we'll get to movie review.
Okay.
So second job, broadcaster at AZCFL. Boom, boom. We're at this new, or not a new spot, but a new field from last week. We're at another high school, and there's like the press box, and then above the press box, there's like a attic that has a spot for like the second cameraman to go, or camera woman, camera person. Mm-hmm. But above it, it's old style. They have it's like a vertical attic door that just kind of opens like.
Oh, that just pops up, and that's how you get it. How the hell are you getting the camera up there? That shit gotta be crazy.
You gotta just have it latched open, and the way it's latched open is it's latched against the chain link fence, and the wind blows it closed often.
Jesus Christ.
So, and this door is like 30 pounds plus the wind. It's at least like 50 pounds coming down, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, I wanted to get to accountability last week and lack of it, and how as a country we kind of I don't understand why it's just like accountability is no longer sexy, right? And like nobody can just take 2 minutes to check, oh, did you get that email? Did you get that file I sent you? Like whatever it is, right?
Yeah. They just on your neck before, and then when you be like, oh, no, I didn't get this thing, and you're like, oh, my bad.
Right. Exactly. So little things like that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, that trickles and translates into any industry. So they were telling, you know, I was relaying information from the producer to the camera person, and they're like, yo, Jesse, can you go tell them something? I'm standing up there, bro, between the doorway of where the door is and where I am, and I'm talking facing it away from the door, and it's windy, bro, and I'm aware that it's been blowing shut at least 3 or 4 times since I've been up there, but I neglect that fact when I'm telling them what I had to tell them. The door comes crashing down over my head last night, bro.
Jesus.
It broke over my head. And like where the gate and the latch and everything broke. That shit was like, see ya. And then like the wooden like part where the enforcer is, like it was like splintered off. And I'm not trying to, you know,
you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm not trying to hype myself up, but like I'd be taking licks, right? And everybody that saw it happen looked at me like, what the fuck should we do, right? You know? And I was like,
like a concussion, my guy. Like that sounded like that would give you a concussion.
I was able to broadcast the whole game 3 hours later, and, you know, my head was hurting a little bit, and, like, I was like, you know, I think I was, like, Googling what signs of concussions would be, and I didn't really have many of them, so I thought I was good, and then, that's, you know, after driving home, that's when I was like, I've been through a lot tonight. I don't want to fucking cook. I'm fine with DoorDash.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, I think I'm good, man. My head's just a little, like, it's cut up a little on the top. It hurt. It felt like just taking a mean-ass punch or something.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, that door is broken now. And,
bro, DoorDash, doors in general, you take
DoorDash, bro. That's ironic, man. So, yeah, I mean, wild week, but, hey, bro, I'll die on this microphone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, maybe just, I don't know, I guess make sure you keep in mind, that's crazy. I'd have been pissed. I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. I'm getting paid still, right? Workman's comp, but I gotta go home.
They're like,
I mean?
we have no broadcast for the game tonight. They're just like, oh well.
It's like, hey, bro, people can still see it.
But yeah, man, you were saying you were watching some movies throughout the week.
Yeah. So I didn't, I didn't watch movies. I watched one movie that was super fucking long. Felt like I was watching movies, but I watched the Justice League. Or I guess they call it Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's the Zack Snyder cut, and then if people aren't up to date on nerdy shit, then they probably don't know the story of a couple years ago the Justice League movie came out. I'm guessing you didn't see it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nah, but I know DC versus Marvel.
Yeah. So it's a DC movie, Justice League. Did you see Batman versus Superman, which was like what came out before that?
No, but I know it's DC.
There you go. So yeah, Batman vs Superman comes out, is fucking garbage, terrible movie, and it like the whole movie was just like, Batman's trying to kill Superman just because he's like, this person's fucking a god, he shouldn't be out here, and then he decides not to kill him at the end because they got their moms got the same fucking last name or the same fucking first name, which makes zero sense. And it's like, yo, how you're like, wait, what you say? Your mom's name has the same name as my mom? Now I'm not mad at you anymore. You know what I mean? It didn't make any fucking sense. And then they went to Justice League, and apparently Zack Snyder was directing it. And I think something happened with his family. I don't know if somebody in his family died or something happened with one of his kids.
Yeah, his daughter committed suicide.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. So yeah, so you already up on the story. But yeah, so daughter commits suicide, which is obviously tragic, and so he was like, he didn't finish the movie, and so they brought in Josh Whedon, who he did like the first Avengers movie, I want to say, and they brought him in to finish the movie, and so it was like kind of director coming in at like the last second to kind of like shift stuff around, and I feel like historically that hasn't really worked out for movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty much just end up fucking shitty. Which I think it's the same thing that happened with the last Star Wars, was that like the dude, it was somebody else they had cast, and then they ended up firing that dude, and then they brought in the dude who directed the first movie to come in and direct the third movie, and he kind of just changed all this shit and like went and just like pretty much erased the second movie, and so it just turned up into this shitty movie. But
that's how I felt about the third Ninja Turtles.
Yes, I'm sure. And then was that the one you talking about, the old school one where they went back into fucking like Japan?
Yeah, they were samurais and shit. I was like, what?
Yeah, it didn't make it. Like what? What the hell's going on?
Y'all can have this.
But yeah, so this one Josh Whedon does. They released the movie. It's fucking garbage. Everybody fucking hates it. And there's like a section of people on the internet who are like very big like Zack Snyder fans because they liked Watchmen the movie and the first Superman. The first Superman was okay. That Watchmen movie was iffy to me, but I get it. And I'm like, Zack Snyder has a couple good movies, but also a couple movies. But they were all like super loyal to him. Like, yo, like this is bullshit. The only reason that movie sucked is because it wasn't Zack Snyder, and like to release the Snyder cut. Like we know there's a Snyder version of this movie, and that like pretty much was like online discourse for years. Because this movie came out, I think, in like 2016, 2017. This is like. It's been a while since this movie been out. They did like two movies. They did an Aquaman after, a Shazam, and a fucking second Wonder Woman after this damn movie. So like it's been a while. But
Shazam, that's the movie with Sinbad, huh?
No. Yeah, but yeah, so when HBO finally announced HBO Max, they announced that they were going to actually release the Snyder Cut, and all the fans are fucking happy. But lo and behold, you also hear that they had to actually put more money into it because the shit didn't actually exist. Like there was no movie out there. They had to go back and like reshoot shit and redo shit because there wasn't no Snyder Cut. They had to put all this fucking money into it, and so the product ended up being this 4-hour like extendo. It's the deluxe
extendo
edition
clip
of the movie. Yeah, you know how like now all these rappers are doing like they drop an album and then like 4 months later they're doing a deluxe edition, and all it is, it just runs the numbers up for their first album. So it's like they sold more money or they sold more albums.
Right.
That's pretty much what this is. This is the fucking deluxe edition of Justice League, and I watched the whole movie. I couldn't do that shit in one sitting. You're crazy if you did that shit in one sitting. I did that shit over like 3 or 4 nights, and I was like cutting it off. Like I stopped it to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then I went back to it. Like I think the next day when I was just like chilling with Mari, we're doing daddy-daughter time, and I'm like, all right, I'll just throw this on. And my takeaway from it is it's definitely a better movie than the first one, but it's still like it's pretty much the same. Like there's some cool parts, there's some cool action. They made the villain look more, I guess, better in a way because he looked kind of weird in the first one. I don't really know the exact because I didn't watch the first one before I watched this because I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I'm not about to watch a 2-hour and some odd movie before I watch a 4-hour movie. No thanks.
That's not justice to me.
Exactly. I remember some of the stuff that was still in there and some of the stuff that wasn't. So I don't know exactly what they changed out, but I just know that this one was better than the first one. But I'm like, bro, if you have 4 whole hours to tell a story, it better be okay.
I say, how do you have 4 hours to write like 4 hours of a script? It's like, all right, so then you're gonna say, ha ha. He's like, again? He's like, yes, there's 4 hours of this.
Right.
You're gonna laugh a lot.
And that's what I'm like. Exactly. I feel like the first movie there was like it felt, even though it was like 2 some hours, it felt like some shit didn't make sense and they were kind of jumping around and shit, and you're like, wait, what? And so the 4 hours kind of fills the gaps and gives you more character development for like people like the Cyborg in the movie and like other characters and shit, and then you get some more of that. But it's like, all right, bro, if you need 4 hours to tell an okay story, is that really that good? No. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like that doesn't make it. That I feel like it's good, but it's only good because you got 4 hours to tell a story, and that's not. You know what I mean? Like if you fuck up 4 fucking hours for a movie,
I could watch 4 hours of The Equalizer though. That'd be dope, son. He's just maybe 9 seconds checking his watch and shit.
I give it like a 6 or something, like a 6 out of 10 bucket hats or whatever the hell it is you want to do. The 50, maybe a 50, I would go more towards, but it's not it's not terrible, but it's not like it's definitely not very good. It's just it's better than the first one. That's all I got for it. But they were asking that question like, if there was a movie that you'd want, like a shitty movie or a whack movie that you'd want like redone for 4 hours, what would it be? And you know what I mean?
A shitty one?
Yeah, like one that you thought could have been better.
Oh, I'd say, I mean, can it be you said it could be a remake or it has to be like an original movie?
Yeah, it'll be whatever you want.
I think the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles were horrible.
Yeah, they were terrible. You think they did? If he got 4 hours, I don't think he would have fixed it with 4 hours.
Oh no! Oh, okay, I understand it now.
Somebody else.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I think didn't Jordan Peele have a movie or Us was kind of shaky?
You want Us to be more? You want it to be more? I feel like it just would have been them being weird in the underground for like 3 more hours.
Well, I don't know. I saw a fan theory thing.
But yeah, there was things that... Yeah, go ahead.
That bridged like that and Get Out together. Mm-hmm. So maybe more of that, like a way to bridge those two.
Okay. Okay.
I like that.
Part of me wants to say... Because this is like the last movie I saw in a theater, even though it was like outdoors theater. But what's it called? Tenet.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I feel like Tenet had a good premise and everything looked cool, but it just ended up being hella confusing. But then it wasn't. It was like it was like super convoluted, and like I feel like the whole movie they were explaining to us the thing, and it still was kind of hard to grasp. But then when you do, it's like, oh, I feel like y'all made this so crazy when y'all could have gave us a simple explanation for it. So I'm like, maybe 4 hours of that might help, but I'm not. I probably would just make me, because it's what's his name? I don't know. I'm blanking on his name right now. Who did it? The same dude who did Inception.
The guy who made it. Not Chris Nolan,
yeah.
Right?
Christopher Nolan.
Oh, it is.
Christopher Nolan's good, obviously.
Ironically, who made the
Dark
Batman
Knight's
movies, not the Justice League.
The Dark Knight's good. Dunkirk is cool, even though they don't be talking at all. Just a bunch of people dropping bombs. Like, he got some good movies, but honestly, just give him more time to mix the sound better, because the sound in that movie was so weird. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on with that shit. It was just weirdo sound mixing. But yeah, so I wouldn't recommend anybody to go out of their way to go see Justice League Snyder cut. You know what I mean? If you're already a fan of the shit, chances are you already thought about watching it. Maybe I might have some, have to do with the other pod, just have somebody on so we can bash that shit for a little bit. But
that would make it real justice.
But yeah, that's my review. What did you watch?
I watched a couple, man. Shouts to getting some content in and obviously throwing up some variety. But I was able to watch the last Blockbuster documentary made by Kevin Smith.
That I just seen all the memes of just like
imagine killing somebody
and then doing a documentary on it.
It's real, bro. And shouts to Kevin Smith. I'm a big fan. He's Silent Bob from Jay and Silent Bob. He's made all Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy, Jersey Girl. Think that's it.
My man stayed with an oversized jersey. I don't even know he got skinny.
Yeah, shouts to him, man. He's a big hockey fan. But yeah, so it was just that documentary about the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. It's just that, a Blockbuster that has DVDs, and what's funny is the computers are still outdated from the 90s, so like.
Really?
Yeah, they still use the computer system, and like all the parts are obsolete, so the only way to like fix it is just taking apart other parts from old computers that are been sent there.
Just putting them together.
Yeah, and they're just dusty as fuck and just dirty, but in order to keep it on brand, right? And it talks about just the start of Blockbuster and how they could have continued, and Netflix actually made them an offer at one point, and Blockbuster turned Netflix down.
Wow.
And there was a part when Netflix started because a dude had to pay like $50 in late fees for a movie, and he got fed up. And then Blockbuster did their no late fees things, and they lost like $1 trillion like overnight.
Really?
Yeah, dude, they lost a third of their business overnight because of the late fees. Because
that's crazy.
A lot of their business was banking on people being late. And once they got rid of that, and on top of people knowing, like, oh, I can keep the movie now, like, there was no incentive to return it.
Yeah.
So there was that, man, and that, and then just this show talked about how they were like the big bullies on the block, and if there was a video store, they would like kind of run up to the video store and be like, hey, yo, lady. This is Blockbuster. You can either work with us or we're going to make a Blockbuster right next door to you. And they all would have to be like, all right, I guess we'll turn into a Blockbuster. So, going back to growing up, man, we had a Hollywood Video and we had a Blockbuster. And
was there another one? It was like Hollywood Video. I feel like it was something like the King's Video or some shit. I feel like I remember.
Oh,
there's another one out there.
I think I know what you're talking about, but not in my
Video
town.
King or some shit.
I feel you. Movie King, Burger King. I don't know.
Something like that.
He was a cousin of Burger King. No, so yeah, my hometown we had a Hollywood Video and then a Blockbuster, and I remember like. A lot of the stuff they talk about like, the difference between streaming and, video store is true. Like, there was a community involvement with the Blockbuster. You would, talk to somebody, ask them like, oh, you've seen this movie? What are you picking out tonight? And like, you would get like actual, human feedback on a movie. And they were talking about there was like, especially for the people, the cashiers and the people that worked there, people would say, yo, you recommend some fire movies, bro, and they would like wait to talk to you, and there was like that like authenticity, right? And it gave some agency because it gave kids, a feeling beyond just working at a video store. It made them feel like they were movie consultants, right?
Right.
And I remember like the little shit that I forgot about that they talk about in this. Like, do you remember they would have a little TV up at the counter, and you could pop in the movie just to test it out real quick and watch it and be like, not watch the whole thing, but you could be like, all right, I guess I could see myself watching this, and then you would rent it.
That's crazy. I don't remember that, but I remember the TV up there. I don't remember being able to just test out the movie.
Well, no, I think they would do it to test if it was rewound. Like, if somebody returned it, they rewound it, and they put you on the spot, like, all right, let's see if you rewound this, and you're like, ah. Mm-hmm. And then they had the video, and you could test it, and then once they started getting N64s and Super Nintendos, you could play a video game. You could test the games out. So I remember that, bro. They were talking about they were saying, like, if you think about it, you could still smell what a Blockbuster smells like. And I'm like, yo, that's
like the little popcorn.
Yeah, and just like the floors and like the blue carpet and the yellow walls and like just I was like, damn, like that's a real thing, you know?
It was, kids, obviously not to do like kids these days, but it's like you don't really know the feeling of how it was when your family be like, oh, we're going to go to Blockbuster, and you're like, oh shit, and you get to go, and you're like, you do the little, you walk into the Blockbuster, and you do the whole full, like, walk around, because, like, and then when you first walk in, they got all the new movies, and you're looking at, oh, these are all new, and you don't, as a kid, you don't really know when movies are coming out, or when they're on rental, so you see, like, what's new, like, oh, man, like, movie that I wanted to see at the movie theater, like, hell no, is out, but then you're like, then you got another layer of it of, hey, I gotta ask them if we can see this, and they don't want to see this shit. And so it was just like a whole different. It was definitely a cool ass film because it was like something to do to get you excited to do something else. It made you like it was definitely cool as hell.
And my parents and I remember Blockbuster, and I think American Video did it. They had like a 2-for-1 deal, and then the parents would get an adult movie. If for every R-rated movie you got a PG-13 or something. Or for every R-rated movie you rented, you got, whatever. And, like, so I remember my parents renting something and being like, oh, like, and for this always sticks out in my head, Black Hawk Down. I just remember Dad renting that and being like, can I watch that? That sounds cool. And he's like, no, like, you wouldn't like it. And I remember being like, all right, well, do you want to watch, like, Inspector Gadget with me? Or, like, whatever I got,
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude. So, I was just remembering that, dude. And then, like, there was just little things about a reward. Like, I remember doing chores. Like, my mom used to say, like, all right, if you do the leaves in the backyard, like, instead of giving you $5, you can go to Blockbuster or something, And I was like, yeah, bet, So that was a thrill. I remember, like, the only time you went during the week was the Returner movie. Like, you're dead on trying to rent something, like, during the week, And then they got smart with it. They put the return tables or the return slots outside the window that you could drop the shit off.
I remember my mom used to make me do that. Like, you just pull into the parking lot and just have me go and just drop the thing in the slot.
Yeah, dude. So there was that. And then, so it talks about that, man, and just about, like, having foresight as a business to, like, to think like, and, I deal with that with sports and, trying to push digital, like, the idea of like filling seats in a stadium are kind of over. Right. And like the idea of like with movies that their thought was like, no, everybody will always want to leave their house and rent a movie and come home. And it's like, nah, fam, like you could do all this from home. Like
if I could just be at the home and I could pick whatever movie and like, you know what I mean? Like that's always, convenience is almost always going to win out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, granted, there's, like, with the movie theaters, like, yes, movie theaters are doing bad right now, and, like, people would rather stay at home, but I feel like movie theaters are an experience because motherfuckers don't got 80-inch screen TVs at their house. Some people got crazy, some people do, and they got the whole theater set up, but most people do not. And so they still want to go to the movies at some point. Now, it ain't going to be as much as it used to be, but it's not going to be, like people aren't going to ever want to go to the movies again.
Right. I mean? But I think also, like, you talk about
Blockbuster, yeah.
Convenience, though. I think they're also at the movie theaters, like you said, you're seeing a movie that only they have access to.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Blockbuster, they kind of, bit off their own, they shot off their own foot, I guess. And it really was just like, nah, man, y'all bugging. And then Netflix was just like, all right, man, people are going to want to do this. And then it showed Netflix trajectory and just trajectory and about like how, because I remember you could still get Netflix. I remember Blockbusters tried doing Netflix. Remember they tried doing like the DVD. I
remember Blockbuster tried to do the Redbox.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Redbox, Did they talk about Redbox in the movie?
No, they talked about not Redbox. They talked about just there's a digital version of Blockbuster because they would mail the movies.
See, because I think they left. If they didn't talk about that, then I think they left out a huge, like, key point. Because obviously, you know, Netflix, things going to streaming for sure hurt Blockbuster. But the thing that really, to me, hurt Blockbuster was the Redbox, because people didn't have to go to Blockbuster to get a movie. And they had, like, the Redbox was, like, in my local grocery store. It was like random places.
Right.
And so, and, like, you be already there. And you're like, oh, shit, look what's out. Let's see what's on Redbox. And you just go and you just rent the ticket and you can just bring it back there. They still had the late fees and shit, but you just bring it back there and you're Gucci.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that and the streaming helped get, because it was like the streaming, yes, you could stream shit, but they also still didn't have like the new movies and shit. You know what I mean? And then, but Redbox at least had the new movies. It was easier and it was cheaper. You know what I mean? It's for $1 a day, and it was like way more locations.
Until they figured out dudes were using prepaid debit cards and just getting a video game for $1.
That shit's crazy. And now I'm like curious. Like, I haven't got a Redbox. When's the last time you got a Redbox, man?
2019, 2018. I don't know. I remember my homie was so backwards with it. He thought you had to get a movie just on like based on when they dropped it. And there was a movie that we both wanted to watch. And I was like, go get it. It's right here. Look. And he's like, nah, we got to get Lego Movie. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, they just dropped Lego Movie. I was like, we don't have to watch Lego Movie, son. Like, he thought that was like a rule. I was like, you don't, what, son? What? You're such a weird person.
Bro, you just wear whatever you want, bro.
So
that's crazy. Now I'm like, shit, I don't even, like, it's sometimes we have this shit, and it just gets phased out, and we don't even really realize it. You know, it's like when you're, you know, the saying is like, there's a time when you hung out with your childhood friends for the last time and you didn't know it.
Right.
So there was a time that you got a Redbox and you returned that bitch and you didn't know it. There was a time you got a Blockbuster video, like tape or DVD or some shit, and you returned that bitch and you never went back. You never went back to Blockbuster, and you have no clue. Like, do you even think you could even guess, like, what's the last thing you rented on either of those things?
I don't know, Don John or some shit. Like,
I think I still got a Blockbuster card in my wallet. That's what makes it so crazy. I feel like it's so long ago that it had to go out of business. But like, if I have a Blockbuster card, I mean, it probably went out of business like 2014 to 15 or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was. They're still rocking. So shouts to them, Bend, Oregon. You know. And it was a good documentary, so I know, you know, Doc's not your thing, but nostalgia is, so I would, you know, check it out.
Yeah, I might go check it out.
It's good, man.
So. I'm curious, so I'm wondering if it answers other things. I will say, the fucking, like, I get Blockbuster when they first started not wanting to buy, like, Netflix or whatever, because, like, the first Netflix model was stupid, bro. I'm going to order a movie online and have you ship it to my house, and then I got to, like, ship it back. Like, that seemed way less convenient than just driving to a Blockbuster, grabbing a movie and then dropping it.
Yeah, I think the appeal was it was cheaper though, right?
Yeah. Like, I only, like, how many people do you know actually used like the old Netflix model?
I know.
I only knew one person.
I did it by accident. I remember I kept ordering movies, and I'm like, yo, the movie's not like playing. And then we had like a list of shit just come up to the house, and I was like, oh, my bad. I ordered like 11 movies.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that was when I just moved.
So you're like the second person. I want to say my homie Brian was like the only person I know who like I think his brother or somebody, or maybe his dad or somebody was like fucking getting actual Netflix DVDs, or maybe that was GameFly. I don't know. Either way, both of those like where they ship it to
I
you.
Never played. Like, I never did GameFly. Never once.
Yeah. See, now maybe if they had it like Amazon, if they would have been on some Amazon shit where you order a game and it come to your house the next day, and then they come and pick it up, that would have worked. But it was still when mail was way too like short. You know what I mean? If I want a game, I want it now. If I want a movie, I want it now. I want to order a movie and have that shit come in a week or some shit, and then I gotta return it. I gotta go to the fucking post office and return that shit, or you know what I mean? Get stamps and shit. Like, nah, that was a wild business model. So I get why Blockbuster was like, yeah, nah, bro, I'm good. But just once they hit that shift, it was a wrap.
So I think you'd like it all around. You know, I'd say 4 out of 5 bucket hats. You know, it could have been. I'd say 5 out of 5 just because I don't give perfect scores around here. So then I watched another one, which was the Lori Loughlin scandal movie that we talked
about. That looked interesting.
It was Varsity Blues Operation, something like that. I think it was called Operation College Scandal or something. And we covered this on the pod a couple episodes, many episodes ago about Lori Loughlin trying to finesse her daughter into USC. I didn't even know the husband is like some famous like France some like Italian designer, Maximo something. So they're rich, like what like Meek Mill said, "Oh, you rich." You know what I'm saying? So he they were just talking about that, the ego, both the parents didn't go to college, so they just want to make it seem like, oh, we're special because our daughter is going to a prestigious school. But it's like, bro,
it's just crazy to me. And
it's so hypocritical because both people found lanes for themselves that was like, oh, I don't have to go to college because I'm already making money. And they made her daughter's a YouTuber, making money on a product clothing line and all this stuff.
She barely wanted to go to college.
She didn't even want to go to college, bro. And that's so hypocritical to tell your daughter, like, hey, you have to, when it's like, you didn't. And the reason you didn't is the same reason I'm not trying to. Mm-hmm. And then all of that, not, no spoilers or whatever, but because, you know what happens to Lori Loughlin, the daughter's business, pretty much got depleted. So now she's, fucked. Not fucked, but, in her scale of fuckery, And
she'll be fine.
Right. So it's just bro, who the fuck cares? You guys are rich. Why does it matter what piece of paper your daughter gets? Oh, our daughter went to USC. Oh, word? We're eating lobster at your house. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was just and it's USC is not that, and I don't care about any of that shit anyway. But it's not like USC is some Ivy League school.
It's the Ivy League of the Pac-12. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, but it's bro, nobody would care if your daughter went to some other college. But it's just it was all, from what I was gleaning from, I didn't watch the doc, but I thought it was interesting because I watched the preview for it. But it's just people who, they just wanted to have something to talk about with their other friends. And it's lo and behold, it's people in their friend groups are doing the same thing. The thing that's just funny to me is I think everybody had the same reaction when this shit happened. It was just hey, oh, these rich people are paying their way to get into college, and we're yeah, isn't that what they always been doing? Is that new? Is that news to people? I didn't think. I thought we already knew this. I thought this was already established.
Yeah, I'm I don't think she earned it on their way in. Earned it on merit, right?
Bro, and the thing, you donate a library, and you know what I'm saying, you donate money for the library, and they're yeah, you can come into our school, because why the hell would they care that much?
Maybe if your kid's an ill running back, but if not,
right?
son, we don't give a fuck.
We already know, college in itself is kind of just it's bullshit, right? It's just everybody just trying to get kids to go to the certain schools so they can get the money out of them.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So for most schools, that's what it is, and then the prestigious colleges. Yes, they deny people, but because the only reason that they remain prestigious colleges is because of exclusivity. You know what I mean? And because they know they're going to get enough people to go to the school who want to go to the school that are going to be able to give them money. That the only way to keep up with the prestige is to make it super exclusive to go. But it's do they actually care about that? No, they only care about how much money they fucking making.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they're going to get more money from a rich person than they are fucking somebody who needs a scout.
Exactly. So that's why those people can definitely buy their way into stuff. And then they make themselves feel better by having the broke people who are actually smart in there too.
Yeah. And now what I took away from this documentary was next time I watch Full House and Becky's yelling at any of the kids, I'm going to be hey, don't listen to her. She don't got the right she don't know what's good in life. She lives in the attic. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah, nah, definitely not. But I'm just it's just crazy. The whole thing is just crazy to me because it's y'all really cared that much about getting into these schools. Nobody cares, bro. Right. I was more surprised the FBI got involved.
We thought this was a football scandal.
Yeah, bro.
Is this Reggie Bush, bro? He's back. So no, I mean, it was all right. I mean, it was interesting and stuff like that. But again, I have no sympathy for rich people trying to finesse money out of things. Like zero sympathy, sir. Especially rich people that are not. It's not part of their business. It's not like they finesse their own embezzlement scam and all. It's like they tried to finesse other people. I'm like, shut up, y'all bad people.
So wasn't it like a dude? So how did it work? Like obviously, I don't want you to give away the doc all the way, but like. Was it like some dude who was just setting everything up, or how?
Yeah, they just paid this guy who's able to make a person graduate or finish a school with a certain way without actually doing any of it. Like he took pictures of people in a swimming pool, and it would like look like they were playing water polo, and they're like, look at this All-American, this guy's got like 9,000 water polo goals and blah blah blah. So they made it look like the reason they're in is not just because of the money, like they're in for other reasons. So were
people like actually like actively asking these people, like if Lori Loughlin's daughter is in school with me, like, I don't care what else she's doing. I'm assuming she's in school because her parents are famous.
Exactly, right? If I see a rich... I'm not like, yo, you nice at water polo? Like, I'd be like, I didn't know we had a water polo team. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely just automatically assuming that you here for, like, the reasons everybody else would assume.
Or guess what, bro? I never asked anybody that. I was just like, what's up?
I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, why you here? The fuck?
That's just a fact of something I just would understand the reality of.
Right.
That's what I would think in my head. Like, I'm sure you're just here because your parents are rich, but also I'm sure you might have got grades as good as mine. Who the fuck cares? Like, I don't care. We're both here. I don't care.
Yeah. I just asked if you had a piece of gum, bro. Fuck.
Right? That's the thing about, like, colleges in general, because it's like you don't get into certain schools, but then you go to a different school and you don't, like, it doesn't affect, you don't know what your life would have been like at them other colleges, so what, like, does it really even matter? And it ends up being the same shit.
I'm like, you paid this much just to lose to ASU in football? Y'all whack, son. So then the third movie, I still got to watch the rest of it, but I fell asleep. It was good, though. I was just tired. Was Irresistible, Steve Carell, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Roseburn.
Roseburn?
Yeah, her name is Rose. She's from Neighbors. She plays Seth Rogen's
Yes. So
in that movie with Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, so it's about a politician, a guy that works in the White House that wants to get a very redneck guy to be like the Democratic mayor of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I think they were actually taking shots at Hillary, making fun of like the fact that like she did a really bad job at campaigning in Wisconsin back in 2016 because Steve Carell is just like really ignorant to Wisconsin and is just like hoity-toity. And, that's pretty much how far I got was like him trying to convince this like Wisconsin, I don't even know the name, Wisconsinner to, run for office or whatever. And he agreed to do it as long as Steve Carell was like his campaign manager. And that's how far I got. So
you fell asleep?
Yeah.
Or you just was like turned it off?
I fell asleep.
Okay.
Because again, I was concussed. So like, I don't know.
You're good. All I know about that movie is Jon Stewart directed it.
That too.
Everybody likes Jon Stewart, but I did hear that the movie was kind of like, it was definitely like both siderism. Like it was trying to hit both sides, but then it kind of fell flat. Is what all the reviews that I saw of it. So that's why I didn't end up watching it. But I did see it was on HBO Max, so maybe I'll check it out. But I mean, there's some truth to that though. It's like liberals, the like liberal elite or whatever. Quote, all the quotes and shit. They like. There's definitely people who are out of touch on all the sides,
Yeah.
Just out of touch. They don't know how other people, like working class people think. And I don't mean like work, because I feel like people say working class and they really mean like white people. But I meant like people who actually like, you or me who are like working and living paycheck to paycheck. Like those people have no clue like what people actually want and like how to, do that shit for them. So I get it to an extent, but I heard it was like kind of like a little too much, like over the top with it.
No, I'll still finish it, but it was cool from what I saw. But yeah, man. But then yeah, I mean, movie reviews kind of took up most of this, but I guess that kind of transitioned pretty well about both siderisms and trying to touch on both was. I don't know if you saw the video or picture that went viral of Biden tripping up the stairs, going up the plane.
Yeah.
That was objectively funny. Yeah, it's hilarious, bro. And that's I think what people have misguided about the other side. I hate to bring up his name, but Trump. These people were impossible to make fun of him within 4 years. Not once could speak anything bad about this guy, right? And I think that's the difference is you don't worship somebody, you support somebody. And with supporting somebody, it's okay to see them as they are, a human, right? And somebody tripping is objectively funny, bro. If my best friend, it's funny, bro. But it's like, also, it's like, at some point, it's like, he's also a 78-year-old man that's been war beaten. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a little, it's hurt. And my brother made up a good point. I forgot he was just in a walking boot a couple weeks ago. So it's like,
I forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? So he might still have a bad foot, and he's just putting on the cap, you know, for the nation, because he doesn't want to be a weak.
Like, I don't know why people care about that at all.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, and then I saw these funny ass memes like Steph Curry crossing him up, and like
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, but that's the difference, bro. There's a difference with making fun of and making fun with. It's like I feel like we're making fun with Biden, like Moneybag Joe. Like it's okay, like. Him slipping up some stairs is like, oh, you really voted for this guy? It's like, yeah, bro, you fucking...
Like, nobody's ever slipped up stairs before. We've all done it, man.
Dude.
You've all slipped up. We've all done that thing where we accidentally skip a step and it throws us off.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is always wild, bro.
Especially when you got some new sneakers because your depth perception's
like,
on.
oh, you hit the whole dip, so like your back about to crack. Like,
yeah, bro. Someone's like, I can't be friends with you no more.
Bro, I would have no friends, man. I used to fall so much in high school, man. Back in, like, the winter snow of, like, and it's ice on the ground, bro. I used to slip all the time. I used to have a homie that every time I slip, he'd kick snow on me. The shit was crazy.
Bro, every time somebody falls objectively funny. As long as they don't get hurt, it's funny.
Always funny.
So, you know.
Yeah, the etiquette is when somebody falls, you're like, yo, you good? And then when they tell you they're good, then you start laughing.
So, yeah, exactly. Once they say, yeah, man, you go, okay, yo.
Like, yeah. Yo, dumbass.
Yeah, bro, what's up? The floor lava? What's up? Anyway.
Yeah.
So now he slipped up, and I thought it was funny, and I just, take him back to the schoolyard with it. It's like, bro, like, anybody could get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
So I think that was funny, man, because that just shows, like you were saying about the cancel culture thing. It's like, it's usually the other side that's making an issue of it. And it's like, I saw mostly of these Joe Biden memes being passed around by other Joe Biden supporters, you know? So it's like, cool. Yeah. We're capable of making fun of somebody. It's, it's not mutually
the other
exclusive.
side is just like, wow. Cause then it's like, I think I saw a tweet from, I don't like bringing up dude, but I think his name is Madison Cawthorn. And he's a dude, he's in a wheelchair, which is like, that's whatever, but he's Republican. And he said something like, oh, it's always going to be windy. We need a president that's going to always be able to stand. And it's like, bro, what? hey. And I'm
man.
not, like, how you going to be ableist to yourself, bro? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, bro. You setting yourself up for all these jokes. It's like, all right, so you're never running? Like, come on.
Yeah, like, huh? That's some crazy shit. And I don't understand why people like that. But it do... laughing at people just because you see them falling is a slippery slope, because I will say one time in college... It
is a slippery slope.
Yeah, it is a slippery... You see what I did there. But so one time in college, we were having a fire drill, and I'm walking down from the building, and, soon as I step outside, I see somebody falling, like mid-fall. As soon as I stepped out, it was like a professor, mid-fall. So I started laughing. Nobody else around me is laughing, but I don't know why. I'm like, why is nobody? Somebody just fell. Like, it's objectively funny, right? Yeah. And then it turns out it's the professor that kind of he's got the two like crutches. I don't know if he has cerebral palsy or something like that, but he did not use of his legs, and that's why nobody was laughing. And I'm like, oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't know. There was no way for me. I, walked out at the perfect time to just see somebody falling without any context of how they fell, who fell, what was going on. I just saw somebody falling, and my natural reaction was to laugh. and then it just ended up being all bad. Now I'm wondering, have you ever had a time where you like saw somebody like do something embarrassing and then realizing that like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have laughed at that like afterwards, or no?
Well, I felt guilty because I was the one that made the laughter, but one time was at work, and you work with him now, so, or I don't know if you still do, but I'm not going to say his name, but I was making a joke. Everybody in the room thought it was funny, including him, and he laughed so much that he fell out of his chair. And then it got awkward because people didn't know if like he was hurt or if he was okay. And then they all looked at me like, "Why'd you make a joke?" I was like, "What? What I said was objectively funny. It wasn't related to this."
Do with him laughing, like him falling.
And
you know what? I remember that now. That shit was. It's funny, bro.
Yeah, so you remember that? And everyone's like, "Ooh,
yes.
Yo, you shouldn't have." I was like, "I shouldn't have what?" I said a joke about like the Knicks or something.
Yeah. Like nothing you could do about that.
Yeah,
that's different.
Everyone got all serious, and they're like, "Bro, I think you were still laughing." I was like, "Yeah," because I was geeked out that everyone was laughing at my joke. Like, what? So,
no, that makes sense. I just know that's the only time that's happened to me. But I know a homie that allegedly laughed at somebody falling out of a wheelchair. I'm not gonna name no names or nothing, but he claimed that he didn't laugh at somebody falling out of a wheelchair. He laughed at the fact that the person stood up and walked back into the wheelchair, and he was like, "What? Did nobody?" That's what he claimed. I don't know. That's what he said. I wasn't there. My other one homie. I was the homie who tells the story. His name is Kyle. We've had him on the show, and my other homie, I'm not gonna name him just in case, but he always say like, "Yeah, he was laughing at somebody who fell out of a wheelchair," and he always comes back with like, "No, I laughed because now he fell out of the wheelchair, but he got up and walked back to the wheelchair like it was nothing." And I'm like, "Wait, hold on, what the fuck?" I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know who to believe on the story. But
that's an unauthorized wheelchair.
Exactly.
I was at a wedding one time, and this like lady just passed out, and I didn't laugh.
You didn't laugh? You laughed?
Yeah, I did, but it was like I laughed because nobody caught her. I was like, "Come on!" Yo.
Oh no! Yo, they just let her pass out.
They're like, "I'm not fucking up my dress." Yeah, I know the routine. They're like, "Ladies, let's get in formation," except her.
Is she alright?
Well, I was laughing because I was like, these bridesmaids go extra with the pictures and like, we're a family. I was like, but Becky ain't shit, yo.
Just let her fall. And like, sometimes falls are just funny too, because it's like when you grasp it, like, if she fell and like pulled off a tablecloth, like, there's no way to not to laugh at that. You know what I mean?
She like dropped, she had like the bouquet, like the flowers and shit. Like, you know how they line up and it's just like, you know, and then it's like, it looks like a fucking rap battle because there's like them and then like the groomsmen are over there. Yeah, she was like, boom, just like smacked it. I was like, that's part of is this part of the show? Like, I was in the back though, so I was like, yo, what? And then, yeah, nah. And then, there was one time, I guess this was funny because they didn't fall. But this person said an awkward thing, and everyone got quiet, and then I made it hot for them because I was like, what, bro? And he was, like, at a wedding, and he said something about, like, it was like he was hitting on the bride, but, like, it was awkward because, like, and everyone was like...
the awkward side, like, nobody's feeling, you're just like, bro, what?
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, what, son? And they were just like, anyway, so tonight's a special night.
Yeah, nah, it didn't land. That's what sucks. It's
he said something like,
thing, but when somebody makes it more uncomfortable, it sucks.
It was like something like, you know, if the wedding doesn't go well tonight, you know, I'll gladly accept. Or it was something like corny like that, and everyone's like, what? That sounds right. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that you know, taking them back to the neighborhood, you know, making fun of, opposed to making fun with.
But yeah, we got like another 10 minutes we can kind of play with. Did you want to talk about the sushi thing, or we could just go to the songs of the week if you want. I know we had the Grammys too, but I'm like, it's like a fucking week. It's a week ago, and everybody was mad at Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and I'm like,
I thought you were talking about.
You just gotta expect it.
I thought you were talking about Cardi B and Candace Owens because that was.
Nah, I don't bring up Candace Owens.
Okay, yeah, she's trash, bro. Beyond trash.
Well, I don't care. Like, it's to the point with her where whatever she comes up with, I'm like, I know she's wrong, so I don't even need to bother myself with whatever the hell she's saying. Like, and if she's right, it's like, okay.
I was saying, my boy Ian, I said on Twitter,
opinion,
whenever I see someone trending on Twitter, I think they die, and I'm like, and then I see Candace Owens, I'm like, damn, did somebody get her? Like, what happened? But nah, she just said some fucking racist shit. Some fucking.
I'm pretty sure her thing was about their performance of how that, you know, and I will say watching the Grammys and like her do it because she had a stripper pole and, you know, they're doing all the, you know, they out there shaking ass, which is like, I mean, I don't want Meg Thee Stallion up there not to do that, or, you know, Cardi B not to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to go up there and start playing the drums and shit, like, showing off their.
They got a Jacob's ladder. They're just like.
Yeah, bro, like that's what people are here for.
They're
like,
juggling.
People are fans. Like they want to hear. Like people listen to Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B to hear raunchy lyrics and like cheeks clapping. That's that's their whole aesthetic, and that's fine. Like I don't want to hear Jay-Z. I don't want to see Jay-Z dancing like he Neo. You know what I mean? Like I want him to go and do bars that he usually does. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm so sick of love songs. So tired of tears. He's like, hey, Beyonce.
Like, yo, this is what people. So, like, you shouldn't be surprised that they did that. I was more surprised that, like, CBS of all people were like, yeah, go ahead and like hop on the stripper pole, you know, in prime time. Now, I think it might have been past 10 on the East Coast at this point, which is like the grace period of when you can get like raunchy. But you know, and the edited version of WAP is hilarious because it's just like. The fucking beat is like, there's some hoes in this house. So they had to block out, like, there's some woes in this house. It's just like, what does that mean? There's some woes in this house.
Woes is me? They're just like people depressed about stuff.
Like, I don't know that. And she just, every other thing is like bleeped out. And it's like, this is like almost pointless. But like, it was a good performance. And of course, all these people like, oh, WAP, and then it's like, bro, just relax. Like, nobody cares, man. Like,
I was more mad at like, CBS's branding. Did you hear them? They were just like, this is CBS. I was like, thanks. Yeah. That's what y'all hitting us with? Not like the 2021 Grammys, nothing?
Well, CBS is always going to just be like boring, bro. CBS. Like, they're like, CBS is the king of like, they got a show, and it's like, what's the show about? The FBI? All right, what should we name it? FBI? You know? Like, that's what they're going to do. That's CBS, bro. And that's the type of shit.
Like, how long is this show? 60 minutes? What should we call it?
Like, what's
60 minutes?
Yeah. Like, what, CSI? Oh, CSI, bro. What's the show about? Oh, it's about Young Sheldon. All right, what we going to name it? Young Sheldon. You know, like, they don't get creative with any of the shit. So I'm not surprised in that area, but yeah, I saw people like, yo, so we can't have Dr. Seuss in school, but we're going to glorify WAP. And I'm like, what school are they teaching WAP at? What teacher out here playing WAP for the kids?
What school is teaching Dr. Seuss either, bro? Like, come on.
Yeah, bro, like, what are you talking? I feel like these people are running out of shit to talk about.
It's adults, man. Like, the music's for adults.
Yeah, like, if you don't like the content of the music in terms of for your kids, why don't let your kids listen to it? Even if it comes on the radio, motherfuckers act like they can't change the radio station.
They can turn it off.
Like, where are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's if it's on TikTok and you don't want your kids to hear it, don't let them on TikTok. Like, it's simple. People always try to like do everything aside from like, you know, parenting. It's crazy. But yeah, that's all we had to talk about with the Grammys. But I would say we've arrived to our favorite part of the week. Songs of the week, bro. What you got this week?
Yeah, man, I'm switching up a little bit. I'm in my emo bag, and it was a little ironic this week about Doordash coming back and righting their wrongs. So there's a song called "Call It Karma." So I'm gonna call it Karma. Silverstein.
Okay.
Nice
I know
little
how I usually
acoustic
do.
joint.
Oh, ooh, is it cool? We got the acoustics.
You know what I'm saying?
We got the kumbayas coming out. But yeah, y'all know how I usually do bangs, backs, and bops and slaps. And then I usually do like a little bit of the album reviews and shit like that. Which there's a lot of albums that dropped this week, so I was able to get to it. So, but my song that bangs, I'm gonna go with Yeah Yeah by I'm gonna go with Sleep with the Roaches by Young Dolph and Key Glock. I set it on my Insta account where I drop all the music. They the best. They the hardest duo from Memphis since Mike Conley and Zach Randolph. So definitely, I feel like they're gearing up to drop another project. So I would say be on the lookout for that. But definitely check this out. It got all the signature, Memphis type beats, and the it's Dolph, and him saying hey. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to listen
It's
to
Fat
that,
Albert.
that's what it kind of sounds like. And then my song that slaps, I'm going to go with Federal by BFB the Pac-Man. And I've been banging with BFB for like a year or so now, mainly because he's one of the funniest rappers out. He always says some wild, funny shit in his raps. And that's probably like the thing that I like most about rappers. That's why I'm a big 2 Chainz fan. I got into DaBaby early because he used to do the funny videos with his raps and shit, and so that's a big prerequisite for me. But in this song called Federal, at one point he says, "I don't know about your stimmy bitch, broke bitch, stop asking." And it's just like him just saying wild shit. He said thought chicks matter and shit. He's just funny, all around funny. He brings something funny in every fucking verse, every song, every bar. He's from I think he's from Detroit, Michigan type dude. And so he kind of got that Michigan sound with the beats and shit like that. A lot of energy style beats and shit like that. So in general, check him out. But the song Federal, definitely good. And then my song that bops, I'm going to go with, let me see. I'm going to go with, I guess I might as well go into my album reviews. But I'm going to go with Peaches by Justin Bieber and Daniel Caesar and Giveon. But Justin Bieber dropped his album Justice, which is hilarious. If anybody watched Atlanta, you watched Atlanta, right?
The first season.
Oh, I think this might have been in the second season. But there's an episode in the second season where Donald Glover's character meets Justin Bieber, but Justin Bieber is played by a black dude.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. I have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was like a fucking dick the whole episode. And he was saying the N-word and shit because he's like a black dude in the episode. And then at the end, he does like a press conference and he was like, yeah, I think I just got in with the wrong crowd. But I'm off of that now. I'm back to doing me. So just I hope y'all forgive me off my single off my new album, Justice. And then he just does a song and it's just hilarious. But, so Justin Bieber literally named his actual album Justice, and it's just fucking funny because I remember that episode of Atlanta. But yeah, he dropped the album. He definitely seemed like he was getting back into his pop roots because I think his last one was definitely more R&B than this one. And I guess a lot of Justin Bieber fans didn't like it. I liked the album. There was I would say half the songs were good on the last one and half were kind of throwaway. And so I was like, whatever. I like, I'm a more R&B guy, so I'm always ride with the R&B shit. So, but he dropped this one to go back, I guess, to his pop shit. So the whole first half, I actually did not really like that much. The jump with Khalid is cool because I like Khalid. That Holy song with Chance the Rapper, which I think most people heard, I'm like, on that shit. And then, I do like Dominic Fike, but I'm like, So but then the second half, he got a little more R&B shit. He got the shit with Burna Boy, which is good. He called Love by You. He got a song with Beam. I'm a big Beam fan. If people don't know who that is yet, I think he's from Jamaica, but he does a little rapping and a little bit of singing and a little bit of the kind of reggae shit influencing his music. So I would say check him out. But there's a song on there called Love You Different that's I thought was pretty good. And then Hold On, I think is a single that's actually pretty good as well. So those are I was only 4 or 5 songs that I liked off the whole album. So if you fuck with Justin Bieber for some reason, not for some reason, because I know some people do, some people don't.
I like this new album, or not his new, his second, or like when he kind of made that new one.
The sorry one, like too late now to say sorry.
No,
I like that song.
The one with like next to you, or I don't know, man. It was like maybe like 2015 or 16 or something. But it had Where Are You Now or something. He had some good songs.
Yeah. He had some, like he got bangers. Like I'm not gonna front on him, but this one wasn't. I didn't think it was it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then my other albums I listened to was Benny the Butcher. Dropped The Plugs I Met Too. I'm a big Benny the Butcher fan. Shouts to Buffalo. Griselda, all out of Buffalo. All them dudes. Westside Gun, Conway the Machine. All them dudes are good. And I'm a big, like, this is, was it? Plugs I Met is him and the producer Harry Freud. Or is it Freud? Freud. Yeah, Harry Freud, sorry. And, the first one was fire. This one, I'm not so, it wasn't as good to me as the second one, or the first one. And, like, the album he dropped last year with Hit Boy was better than this for sure. But there's definitely some gems on there, like the song on there with 2 Chainz called Plug Talk. Definitely one of my favorite. 2 Chainz said he ball hard, Uncle Fester. So, definitely some good shit on there. And then Kota The Friend dropped an album with Static Selector, kind of the same thing. He's a whole producer. They kind of do more of the, like, kind of chill beats. And I'm a big Kota The Friend fan, but I also didn't like this album as much either. I feel like the beats were a little bit boring to me. They didn't really catch me, but I'm going to have to listen back to it again. But yeah, I did listen to the DDG album, but I'm not gonna get into that one. You can check that out if you want. But yeah, those are my songs of the week. I feel like I'm getting long-winded.
I mean, hey man, more music, the more the merrier. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I gotta get back on my grind, my grizzy. But yeah, man, shouts to you putting up week in, week out. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple people financially that put up with us week in and week out. Shouts to the sponsors, Daniel Phillips, Ice Your Wrist Up. You know what I'm saying? Promo code Bucket Up, get 30% off your total. You know what I'm saying? This is a nice little bead bracelet that I be rocking. Gives me a little bit of athletic and a little bit of casual, kind of speaks to my personality a little bit. Promo code Bucket Up. Another part of my personality. I'm anxious, you know what I'm saying? A little over the place, overthink things. Helps me out in Sunday Scaries. Shouts to them. They just dropped a really funny commercial, dude. I don't know if you caught it. I'll tag you in it. It's funny. Use them, use us, promo code Bucket Up to get 20% off of that total as well. They got some new gummies coming out. They got a new tincture, and they got like the YOLO shot, which is like a 5-hour energy with CBD, so mellows you out but keeps you focused. Yeah, man, it's tight. Use that. Look forward to some upcoming content with them as well. But time for the people that are new to the program, where can they find us, son?
Yeah, man. I'm not sure if you're listening to us on right now, but just so you know, it's probably, we're all over the place in terms of where you can listen. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Google Play. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher Radio. So you can, listen to us on any of those. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave us a review if you haven't already. If you want to say something nice, that would also be pretty fucking cool. Or if you're on Spotify, make sure you subscribe or like us on there. That way you can get the new pods straight, in your little, your pods for the week shit that pops up. Just so you don't have to worry about searching us out every time. It just pop up for you. And then if you want to interact with the show at all, make sure you hit us up on social media. We're already on Facebook. We're on the Bucket Up Podcast. And then on Instagram, we're at the Bucket Hat Boys. And then you can hit us up on Twitter at Bucket Up Podcast. If you just want to hit us up for show content, just want to interact with shit we talked about. I know sometimes people listen and they're like, yo, I wish I was on the show to talk to y'all about it. Just hit us up on the social and talk about it. Or you can hit me or Jesse up individually on Twitter. I'm at Tylante, aka Fat Daddy right now. And then Jesse is at JB Speak. And then if you do follow us on Instagram, just know that, Jesse usually lacing it with, some funny skit videos and shit and the shit for your stories. I got to get the goddamn password because I
don't know it either.
Got the password.
Oh, shit.
So I've been locked out for a minute now, but we gonna figure that out at some point. But yeah.
Well, shouts to that, man. That's crazy. Volume 160 of the Bucket Hat Boys presents the Bucket Up Podcast. You know what I'm saying? 160. You know what I'm saying? You could divide that by 4. And that's like, you know, you could divide that even further down if you're into fractions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to us. Shouts to you guys for making this possible. But for volume 160, it's in the books. You know what I'm saying? And then as for us, we back in the lab. But yeah, for the Bucket Hat Boys, we out.
Cheer, cheer.